All right, guys, welcome back to another update on the markets. All right, we're just going to jump right into it, and we're going to start things off with the VIX. All right, we're just going to talk about how we did get our gap fill. This was our second to last entry on the VIX. We spoke about this in yesterday's video as well as the day before that. But yeah, I told you guys in yesterday's video, don't be surprised, okay? Or I think I said don't be scared. Don't be scared if you see QQQ go back up, okay, and make a higher high here. The only way VIX fills its gap is if that were to happen. That's why I told you guys don't be scared, okay? And that's also why I told you guys I just completely de-risk with my QQQ contracts. Like, I am all for the safe VIX trade. That's the only thing I'm trying to do here. Well, not trying to do. That's what we are going to be doing. I mean, we're already establishing the position, but it's only a matter of time until you have a move like this. All right, like when VIX runs, it runs in the span of like 1 to 2 weeks. It'll go all the way to the peak. All right, we are getting in right before that happens. This is not going to be one where it goes up down, such as QQQ. Like we called the bottom over here, up down, up down, up down, up down. That is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 different like swings there on the indices. Whereas with the VIX, no, you literally just shoot up, okay? You literally shoot up every single time you coil up on the VIX and get a bad catalyst, you shoot up, okay? And that's exactly what we have here. We have our consolidation pattern, which is our falling wedge, just like we saw over here. Not really the sexiest looking wedge there. You didn't really have a wedge here. But the VIX just likes to consolidate. And after it consolidates for a certain amount of time, another wedge looking pattern. After it consolidates for a certain amount of time, it comes back down and you got your oscillators hitting them oversold lines. All right, it's ready to curl back up. Okay, like look what happened last time you hit your oversold line down here. We can actually make the CCI much smaller there. Make it, yeah, we can make you a little bigger. We can make you a little smaller. Maybe these are kind of even now. Either way, all right, every time you come down here, okay, and you have this consolidation pattern, you end up shooting up. All right, look, you're oversold on the weekly chart. After getting your cross, okay, the next week, well, actually that week of the cross, that was the week you started popping off and you hit a low, and then you went all the way up 28% that week. All right, so that is pretty valid. If we were to hit our low down here and go up 28%, like we are decently in the money there. So when this move finally does decide to take place, it is going to be very lucrative for us, all right? And we did pick contracts that are just going to be a whole absolute shit ton safer. And as I told you guys yesterday, the contracts I want are the September ones, okay? I wanted these September 21st ones. And that is exactly what I did. Yes, I bought a few August ones, but yeah, the bulk of what I bought on the gap fill today was the September 21st ones. I told you guys I was doing this, and the whole purpose is because we know a move like this is going to happen, and it's going to make the prices of our contracts absolutely skyrocket in the span of like 1 to 2 weeks. We just don't know when that is going to happen. Well, we don't know exactly when that's going to happen. There is a reason why we're buying in now. It's because we're buying when it makes perfect sense, okay? When we're at the end of this consolidation pattern, bouncing on the trend line, all right? And look at guys, okay? If we come back down, it literally did exactly this. It went up about 16% there, went up. I think it was 16, yeah, just about 16%, and you came back down and you revisited this trend line, all right? Who says we don't see the same exact thing? You go up another 36% here. All right, so you come down to your trend line. Maybe it hits it this day. You go up 36%. It'll almost bring us to the target anyway. All right, so that's not too shabby there. Not too shabby at all. But then maybe you come back down. All right, but when we do launch back off, okay, so we are going to have this explosion on the VIX, and we'll make it green to represent an explosion. All right, we are going to have an explosion on the VIX. But what I do very much so expect is after that explosion starts cooling off, obviously it's going to look something like this where you're cooling off for quite some time. It's going to go consolidate down. Maybe it even happens in another wedge. I don't know. But after that, I do expect you to break this, okay? Maybe you come back and retest it and you break it just like you did over here, okay? You broke it. You went back up right away, and then you broke it, and you went down to the next point of support. If that happens, I'm going to be watching for this point of support, and then we're going to be watching for this point of support, okay? Because this is the VIX is something we're going to continuously trade on this channel. And the big picture suggests that, hey, after this next little move down, okay, it can be a higher high. It can not be a higher high. It can make a new low, okay? But if the trend were to officially change, we are going to see a higher low, and then we are going to see it break over for a higher high. Now, we already do have the higher high on the QQQ. Look, we did break past this level right here of consolidation. SPY, I think, yeah, we're still getting there. But I think it's more likely that you do start cooling off on SPY instead of breaking this level. Like, again, it doesn't make sense that the momentum oscillators, all right, the oscillators that track momentum are in the overbought territory. All this shows is your momentum is cooling off. At the same time, you're pushing to new like minor highs here with like terrible volume. All right, I've pointed out the volume several times. Okay, I pointed out last video, actually, I strictly went over. I know for a fact I went over the volume. How the volume is showing that we are literally in a bear market. You're going up here. Why is your volume going down? All right, you're going down here. Why is your volume continuously going up? All right, from this point when you started going down, it literally started going down. And then you went up. Your volume is down. All right, and you go down. Your volume's up. Okay, and let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see how this is playing out for us. Okay, now you're going up. Volume is decreasing, okay, especially on these last few days right here, these last 5 or 6 trading sessions. You have very clear as day declining volume. We can even zoom in for that. Zoom in on that if you guys want. Clear as day. Clear as day. Since this day you have had declining volume, and that was this day right here, right? The day after we had this minor low right here, started pushing from 300, and now we did make her all the way up to 320. All right, guys. Hey guys, I'm still gonna say, like, holy cow, we actually made it back up here to this point of consolidation. Like I said way back here that this was on the table to come back and test here. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I said it was on the table, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought it would be another swing like that, a quick one, and then you consolidate and you come back down. I didn't think you're going to pretty much completely try and change the trend. I didn't know. Okay, but that was something on the table, and that is what's happening. All right, and I think that is pretty damn cool that we predict the future. What is that? Not a month ago, but more than a month ago. Like a month and a half ago, we predicted the future movement. And I just can't believe this. I really can't believe this. But yeah, guys, I just want to make it very clear that I'm looking for a bottom, guys. I don't think we're gonna be moving down much further. I've made it very crystal clear what this candle represents right here. This is buying pressure. Okay. Now I do want to bring something up that I saw yesterday. All right, and this ties into pretty much our big picture perfectly. Okay, perfectly. And the guy noticed the same thing I noticed, except I didn't notice it from looking back on history. I noticed it just from having this big ass bullish engulfing candle. Like, it literally beat what we did last time, and we fell. Like, guys, it's a minus 9% move. Now we're up 12.5%. So it was Meet Kevin's video, and he was talking about how there's this bearish article or news source, something, or a bearish column that comes out. I think it's like twice a month. And the guy's been bearish. But what he says in this column this time around is things are looking up. And he's saying that he backtested the only 5 times in history that we had a down 7.5% month, followed by an up more than 7.5% month. The only 5 times in history that has happened, all right, are the bottoms. Straight up are the bottoms. All right, we come back to 08. Okay, is this 08? Back at 08. Let's see what we had at the bottom. All right, we actually did not have that at the bottom of 08. We had a steady incline. Okay, so scratch that. We're not even going to reference 08. What happened back here? What happened back here? You were down 11%. You were up 18%, and it marked the bottom. All right, like, look at right here, and then you weren't up. Or actually, were up more than that, but it did not engulf the candle. All right, this engulfed the candle. This was a bullish engulfing candle. So if we're looking at it, not 7, it's like scratch the 7.5%. If we're just looking at monthly bullish engulfing candles, we really have only seen them at points of bottoms. All right, like look at this. You have the same exact thing right here. This bullish engulfing candle, mark the bottom. All right, you have it. This is not a bullish engulfing candle, but it's representing the same exact thing. Here you have a bullish engulfing candle. And keep in mind, this is the monthly time frame. Okay, monthly. This is for the big boys. This is for the people who stand back and they solely rely on our big picture point of view. They are only relying on that. They are trading months at a time. This is that. And these bullish engulfing candles on the monthly chart, they could have represented a point in time where you could have bought the indices and you could have just rode it up. Okay, you literally just could ride it up for an indefinite amount of time. All right, bullish engulfing candle right here, mark the bottom. Okay, now let's see on the monthly chart on this whole downfall, did we have any bullish engulfing candles? No, we did not have any bullish engulfing candles. Right here, you had a bullish engulfing candle and you went up further. Right here, now you don't have a bullish engulfing, you have one right here. We already pointed that out and you just completely started going up. At the same time, you have your monthly oscillators down here. Like that wasn't even close to where the COVID crash hit. All right. So the fact that momentum is all the way down here, it's showing that, hey, bears are exhausting. All right. On the monthly time frame, the bears are exhausting. Whereas up here, even like when we had this absolute massive dip here, okay, on the QQQ, we went down a whole 29%. We are down more from highs, I believe. Yeah, we went down 34%. But even when we had a similar move over here, the momentum did not even get close to representing what we got going on here, which is, hey, bearish exhaustion, which means there should be a big ass like bullish move coming. All right, so that is what I'm watching for. That's literally what I'm watching for. So, hey, even though we're playing the VIX here, we're playing it for a quick spike. It's going to come very quick, okay? And after that quick spike, guys, yeah, I'm looking for a bottom. I think so. I think the bottom is about to be coming. And it doesn't have to be the bottom. It could literally do something like this where it goes up. Like, hey, guys, if we get similar gains to this, guys, we're getting like wealthy. I told you guys, we get rich during the bear market. We get wealthy during the bull market. Now, if we do have another run like that, I don't think that is going to, I don't think it's going to, actually just keep going. No, I think we're probably going to end up either double topping or we're going to slightly we're going to undercut this this thing right here. We're not going to make that higher high, but at the same time, if you do have everyone saying, oh, all the bad news is over, the bad news is over, yeah, maybe markets rally to all-time highs. Either way, guys, we're not missing the move. All right, like a lot of people are going to miss it just because of their bearish bias. And that's kind of what we avoid on the channel. That's the point of this big picture point of view. Like even if we have a bearish bias, well, guys, we have clear as day evidence that, hey, a bottom is forming. Clear as day evidence here. There's no point in ignoring it. All right, so now all we got to do is wait till all the oscillators match that. We do have the weekly oscillators right here. Maybe we do end up coming back down here. We had, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of bullish action. It wasn't all bullish. It was ups and downs. But hey, who says we don't have like 2 or 3 weeks of bearish action that brings your oscillator, your CCI, back down here, just like I've been calling out for your oscillator, your CCI to come back down here and then push like that. All right, it would make perfect sense to me. Okay, and it would also match this daily chart. Okay, we would be getting that these daily oscillators would also be going back down there on this move down. And then look, you have 3 time frames of convergence here, and therefore it is most likely going to be the safest entry. All right, so that is what we're watching for. That's what we're waiting for. I can't say this looks like a bearish candle. I can't at all, other than the fact that you did not even. I mean, you can't even call this a gap because well, is it a gap? No, you got this wick. Never mind, it's not a gap. It's not a gap. If it was, then I'd say, hey, immediately, like, hey, you got another price magnet on the price. It's gonna pull it down. But yeah, guys, I mean, everything's going pretty much exactly according to plan. We do have Bitcoin curling up here. We did not end up meeting this zone. That is pretty much the only thing that has not been not going according to plan. But again, like, who cares? Like, we're not even trading Bitcoin right now. We are only waiting for Bitcoin to bottom so we can find our entry on Mara, which, hey, guys, if we don't get another really valid entry on Mara, do not FOMO into it. Okay, the oscillators are your friend. The oscillators will literally tell you when there is a good deal. Okay, even if you bought here, good deal. Even if you bought over here, No, actually, no, not a good deal from and I'm saying in terms of this rip right here. Um, let's say you bought all the buy lines, okay? You bought the buy lines, you would have been buying 11. You would have been buying right here, you would have been buying right around we'll call it $7. And then you would have actually bought just the day after the bottom if you listen to the daily oscillator when it finally crossed up above here, or it was about to cross up. I guess it crossed up on this absolute massive day that ran from just about $6 all the way to $7. Either way, my point is the oscillators are your friends, okay? And on top of this, we will be using Bitcoin to time that bottom on Mara. All right, and that most likely will represent the bottom. When we can find a meaningful bottom on Bitcoin forming, that is when we will be able to just hunker down and go heavy in tomorrow. Now, me personally, I'm literally just gonna I'm throwing the whole account in tomorrow. Not my trading account, not my squeezers account, but the investment account. I've talked about this on the channel. I have 3 accounts. One is a squeezer account, one is what I am trading the indices with, and one is the investment account that started with 7K. And that's 7K, guys. That's in between 10 and 11K right now. And if we get another one, that's going to turn into close to 20K just on a similar move right there. All right. And then if we get another one after that, hey, 40K. All right. There you go. And here's the thing. When we do find the bottom, all right, on Mara, you're going to see we're going to be able to buy in at like $5, stuff like that. Okay. And we are going to be able to ride it to prices like this, up in the 30s, okay? And that is a 500% gain if you're getting it at $5 and you ride it up to $30. It's a 6x, 500% gain, all right? Times 10K by 6. There you go. That's going to be, most likely, that's going to be our next entry on Mara. That's what it's going to be doing. We are literally going to be buying and holding until we start seeing Bitcoin absolutely, well, I mean, we're only going to be buying the bottom on Bitcoin, and I have said the bottom on Bitcoin will be indicated by a shit ton of volume coming in, and we are going to have a big ass candle. Okay, you are going to have a few big ass candles most likely once the bottom is formed. All right, and it's because you're going to have a lot of whales just buying in this zone, and you're going to see it come into the zone quick and come out of this zone quick. It's probably going to come and bust through this zone quick, and then it's going to come all the way back up here. Point is, Mara is going to fucking explode when it happens. So I am very excited for that entry. We will remain patient for that. And yeah, all right. But yeah, guys, everything is pretty much the same exact day. The further the indices go up, the better VIX entry we get. All right. Now, I am not buying any more contracts until we hit this trend line, which is in 40 cents. All right. We are following the analysis. And yeah, I mean, we could end up breaking this trend line and coming down here. But if you do break the trend line, just remember what happens when you break the trend line. You are looking for the next point of support. So if you break the trend line, it would suggest you're going to be coming down into this support down here. All right. I don't personally think that is going to be the case. All right. Which is why I'm going to be buying the trend line. But even if not, I'm sure you guys have seen these contracts do not get demolished. They are not getting demolished, even though the indices, the QQQ right now is up 270. Okay. 270. All right. The contracts, they're down, but they're like, dude, they're still above the original entry. Like they're currently going for 217. That's valid, guys. That's valid. They were at 305, I think the high was the other day. All right, we almost have a 50% gain on our hands just by the time VIX gets back up to just about $24. All right, that's very valid. And like I said, if you do cross over that $25 line and maybe get to 26, we're probably going to be looking at around 100% gains on this from the original entry, which was at $200. All right, and all of the entries have been pretty close to 200. I'd say 200 to, I mean, I re-entered on this gap fill. Anything I sold here, I re-entered here. And I bought this back for 260. But I mean, even that, guys, like it's not the worst entry with where we think this thing is going. And I mean, either way, we just keep getting valid entries on this thing. All right, and you guys have seen they're not getting demolished like the other ones, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So we shouldn't be scared at all. We should never be scared or afraid when trading. Emotions are literally, the fear is what screws people up. All right. But like I'm saying, we have absolutely no reason to be fearful here. Absolutely no reason our emotions should come into play here. Strictly because, hey, these things are holding so fucking well. It's just ridiculous. And when VIX spikes, it's going to happen in 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to happen very quick, all right? Which means even though the VIX contracts may slightly be moving down as we slowly move down on the VIX, all right, and get these entry spots, all right? But whenever that happens, yeah, guys, value is just going to flood into the VIX contracts. Like, people are just going to want them, all right? We are just the early buyers. All right, guys, so that's pretty much all I got for you guys for this video. All right, oscillators still looking the exact same. You are crossing up on your stochastic on QQQ and SPY, and your CCI is hinging up. All right, at the same time, your CCI and stochastics are hinging down and crossing down on the VIX as expected. Opposite, okay? If one is doing something, the others are going to be doing the opposite. If they're doing the same, if you ever see SPY green while SPY green while VIX is green, that indicates that SPY is going to have a red day. I think it's in the next 2 trading sessions. I don't even know what the exact number is. I just, whenever I see that, I'm like, okay. And next near-term future, it's going to be a red day in the SPY. And it's going to be a big one. That's usually what it's indicative of. All right, guys, so that's it. And I will catch you guys next video. Peace.